welcome back to Celebrity with Nene. So I'm Nene, and today I have Sean and Reese here, and we are going to be doing a recap of Love During, it's Love During Lockup, Season 4, Episode 27. I don't know the name of this episode, but I at least got that part right. Okay,
My fiance.
so I
Fiance.
guess,
Yeah,
hmm,
fiance got a fiance.
yeah, that's what it was. My fiance got a fiance. And so I guess we'll go ahead and start out with Ty and Hottie. All right, so we see Ty. She calls, makes a phone call to Boston, and she asks her to meet her. She is like, "I just want to talk to you. Will you meet me?" All right. So Boston agrees, and Boston meets up with her. Right. And so Ty basically asked her like, "Are you engaged to Hottie?" And so Boston said, "Yes." Ty asked her, "Well, where's your ring?" She's like, "Well, it's getting sized." And so, of course, in true Ty fashion, she threw some shots talking about, "Yeah, because your hands are so big." I'm like, you say you were coming here to talk, not to insult this woman or whatever. You should be talking to her and find out the information that you want to know while she's here before she leaves you. And so Ty informs Boston that she is also engaged to Hottie. Um, Boston, like in her confessional, she says that it does hurt what Ty is saying to her. She was like, but she's not showing any emotions because she don't want Ty to know that what she's saying is hurting her. And so we end up seeing Ty ends up getting upset. Hey, Jerome. Jerome is here with us now. All right, so we're just talking about Ty and Heidi, right? And so Ty ends up getting upset, which for me, I was like, why are you upset with this lady? She hasn't done anything to you. You said you wanted to talk to her. Talk to her. Don't be throwing little digs at her or whatever. But of course, Ty gets mad and she knocks over the table because she's always got to show out. All right. And so she's walking around and, Boston's like, put your hands behind your back if you want to come and talk to me. Um, and, she was telling Ty that she was being aggressive and stuff like that. So then Ty kind of calms down and she was like, she wants to apologize to Boston. She says the right things to her, like, I'm hurt by what he has done, you know, and they actually end up hugging at the end of the scene. Um, Boston hugged her reluctantly, but she did hug her. All right, so tell me y'all's thoughts on Ty and Hottie this week.
Well, when I saw it, I mean, it still tripped me out how you'll have people who will fight over somebody, and the one who they're fighting over is the one that's actually playing both of them.
Yeah.
Boston was really like, I don't care what he did. I know he engaged to both of us, and no matter, even after everything, and Ty came through and said, you know what, I'm done with it. I reacted away because I was hurt. That's still my man. So it's like, you don't need to fuss if he talks to anybody else. Just accept that you're going to be polyamorous or you're going to be the main of many sides. And as far as Ty,
Yeah.
you can't say you want to talk and come all aggressive. I will give Boston that much credit because everybody ain't going to sit there and let you go through that whole big tirade. I didn't do nothing wrong. You flipped the table. That kind of sits there and sets it off. But I don't think Ty's totally over with it. I think she's just upset. And she may do something to get even, but I still hold to say from before when Ty was saying, if I don't have a ring, if my last name hasn't changed, I'm still single. Why don't you just go to one of them other folks you've been keeping in touch with?
Right. That was my thing. I'm like, you are so upset, but he is not the only one in your life. This makes sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. I said about the same thing. Like, them two fighting is starting to get old.
Right.
Because y'all still fighting over the same man that's playing both of y'all still after all this, and he
And
engaged to both of y'all. So that to me, that's who y'all need to be angry at, like
yeah,
literally. And I think Ty is angry at him because she gonna let him know, but I feel like he always able to talk his way out of whatever it is that he does to her that makes her mad, and then she's like, okay, he loves me, he's gonna leave Boston alone, but obviously not.
right.
So I don't know. I'm kind of over the way Ty be acting and this whole like want to knock stuff over and do this and that because like Jerome said, you got a whole other dude like
She's got
you know what I'm saying?
several other
Yeah, several
dudes.
other dudes.
Yeah.
Plus the one that she still was serious about. That was right, boyfriend too. That was under Hottie. So you still got all these men that you might not have added to the calendar or the numbers, but you still have a whole bunch, and you still taking calls talking about some. I'm still single until my last name change. Well, so is he then.
Yeah.
So
And she's sending money to these men.
yeah,
That's the other thing. Like,
yeah.
girl.
And sending money is kind of like you're not really serious about your relationship anyway. So why should he be? But she gonna keep being tied because I think she just needs to win. And then the one thing I was thinking about too was that Boston was like, yeah, we're gonna get married when Hottie gets out. Well, Ty was planning on marrying him before he gets out. So if Ty beats Boston to it, then Ty wins, not Boston. So I don't know. Ty and Boston might need to smarten up and try to marry that man while he's still in. But that's all I got because they kind of annoy me. I understand like this is what they do, but I don't even know why Boston met up with her. And then the hug at the end, I'm like, I don't know how I felt about it because I'm like, maybe Ty was being genuine, maybe not. I don't know because I think she realizing it ain't you, so I'm mad at you for what.
Yeah. All right. So, Sean, do you think Ty is done with Hottie?
No, I don't think she is. I think give it 2 more episodes and she'll be right back with him. Because to me, I don't think it's about now. I don't think it's about her and her love for him. It's all about her and getting over on Boston. So eventually, she's gonna be like, "No, Boston is winning, and I need to win because I have to come out on top of this."
Yeah, because she was obsessed with finding out their exact wedding date.
Right. So she can say I got mine first. And then the comment about the ring and the hand, because I can see she's calling Hottie and telling Hottie that she met up with Boston. She said y'all engaged, but she don't have a ring. And then I can see he using that as leverage, saying that, see, I'm not engaged with her. I don't know what she's talking about. You got a ring, she don't have. So and Boston, I believe the cousin probably did give Boston the wedding ring. So and she don't want to say and put her friend on the spot like that. But if so, she should go talk to her friend and ask her friend what's going on. Why did Heidi give him a ring? And how she acting at the end like she won, she got the prize. But they both need to just move on with their lives. And what I thought was funny was when she called Boston and she's like, can you meet up? You got time? And Boston is like, when? And she's like, now. Okay. And she just jumped. So
she looked annoyed when Boston said when. Did y'all catch that? Like she kind of rolled her eyes. I'm like, you calling somebody about the blue and you expect them to drop everything they're doing to run to go meet you?
So I was like, oh, okay. But she went. So I was like, oh, all right. Don't make that weed money. More time you're on TV, the more money you get, I guess. Because other than that, I wouldn't give her the time of the day either.
No.
And two, when she flipped the table and then at the end talking about let's hug, I wouldn't have trusted that hug.
No. So. I wouldn't have at all.
I would have thought she would have grabbed my neck or something. I was waiting. I'm like, I hope she don't grab that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she's gonna stab me or something. I was worried for her. I'm like, don't hug her. Don't hug her. But she did it.
Yeah. And then the thing too, when she was doing her confession, Ty she was talking about we got played, we this and we. It's like she couldn't accept the fact that she got played.
Yeah.
So and you have to bring in the other person so you can feel like you didn't get played.
But technically, it is both the guys getting played.
Yes, it is. However, if you did something and I did something, and I keep on saying we, I'm not taking all my responsibility. I can take the pain as long as I know someone else is going through the same thing that I'm going through. So how I'm going to deal with moving on when I can't even admit that I was the one that got played, even though she
I'd be like, dang, me and Sean got played. Shoot.
Yeah, because you look.
Nene, no, that's what I would do. I'd be like, dang, we got played.
Let's blow on yourself. So,
I
and
If I had been in that scene, you would have seen me like, I got played.
I've been like, dang, that's messed up. We sure did. We got played. I ain't
Mhm.
taking no accountability just getting played by myself. I ain't get played. If it was just me, then I wouldn't have got played. We got played.
Oh, okay. And then in the long run, she's actually playing him, but so I don't get it. The whole thing, why you so upset? When all thing you gotta do is just go to your billboard, move him off the billboard, and move on to the next person in line. See how you have this whole line of people. So
Yeah,
that's all I got.
I thought that was a purpose for all of the men. So you always got one.
Wow.
But
Yeah,
I
because she
She
was talking
never
about
wanted to be serious with nobody.
yeah, because she was talking about how she was crying about she thought she met someone that loved her like she loved them. So technically, she did meet someone that loved her like she loves him.
True.
Because he had a bunch of people and she got a bunch of people. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Can't be mad. That's why I don't understand her. I don't think I'm ever gonna understand her anger. Other than not winning.
I get it. I mean, I guess you have those people who will sit there and talk to like 3 or 4 different people, but they'll have that main one person that's like, I'll keep these people around just in case, but this is who I really, really want. And I think Heidi was the one she really, really wanted out of the other 3 and 4 guys she spoke with. But then feelings be hurt when you realize that they're not the other one. It's like, I want to have my options, but I need to be your only.
So see, that I'm sorry. You trying to move on?
No,
That's the part that I just don't get though. I mean, like, you got like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you make the comment that I'm not single until you put a ring, I'm single until you put a ring on it, then you cannot expect anybody else to feel differently than that. Also, just because you like them and want them to yourself, they're not single, they're not married, or they're not in a relationship, or they're not taken until you change your last name, not the ring on it, sorry, last name. Then it's the same for them. Till you take their last name, they're technically not taken. So him messing with Boston or him doing whatever he want to do, you know what I mean? Like, why she really, I don't know. That's what drives me crazy about her, is that she justifies like putting her hands on Boston and all this stuff. Like, I get it. The first time in the meeting and you got very angry and all that, you saw the sweatshirt, you saw, you know what I'm saying? Like, that probably would have set anybody off. Like, okay, this dude saying you ain't nothing, but then you got the sweatshirt that I want. Just a lot of stuff, that initial anger and all that. But to still have it, it's like, you knew that was the risk you took when you took that ring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like I'd just be more mad. Like, are you serious? I probably actually I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't have been, I'm gonna pawn this ring.
All right. So the next couple that we saw was Jessica and Dustin. All right. So Jessica's actually meeting up with his family, right, to meet them. This is her first time meeting them. She took her daughter Bailey with her, and while she's having a discussion, I think they were doing some kind of arts and craft kind of thing, but she actually shows them her tattoo, because we know she got his last name tattooed across her torso. And one of the family members was like, "Why not his first name?" I'm like, "Why a tattoo? Period." But I guess. And so one of the family members tells her he's never been loyal to a woman before. Red flag. And they also say that he really likes to use weed and meth. So apparently Jessica didn't know that. I'm not sure how this didn't come up in your discussions with him.
Maybe he just talked about the weed.
Mm-hmm. But meth, you need to be telling me about a meth addiction. Yeah. And so when they get back in the car, her daughter and her, she tells her, "I didn't realize he had such a drug problem." Any responses to them?
I think it's a total red flag. First off, it seemed like you made every decision forgetting you even had a daughter in the first place. Because this man screams, "Keep away from my kid." You went and got a big old tattoo, almost like Thug Life, across your torso advertising a man that you barely know and you've given up almost your whole life for, that if it doesn't work, you've lost so much. And
Yeah.
you know, and the daughter's just sitting here just kind of like, I'm trying to be calm, Mom, but hey, you kind of got me in a situation here. You want me to almost make this guy my stepdaddy when I should be calling the cops on him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be a big reality check to her that she actually sat here and got in love with the idea of the bad boy or what have you, and not the reality of you kind of just screwed up your life. You didn't take time to learn. You fell in love with the idea of, rather than the reality of the idea you have in your mind, but in the reality of what this person will be.
Yeah, and I feel like that was a theme kind of this episode. Ty, suppose she fell in love with the ideal of what, their relationship could be. Jessica has done the exact same thing. Because it feels like every episode we're learning more and more about what she doesn't know about this man and decisions she's made off of things that she just don't know about it. Oh, she's planning on moving, because they're up north somewhere, or were they in Florida? But wherever they live, she was planning on moving to Tennessee for this man. It's like, girl, you made, like you stated, she's made some big decisions for a man that you don't really know. Any other thoughts on her and Dustin this week?
Well, I think I spoke on that tattoo when they first showed her doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that was stupid. Period. I feel like even if they was to get together and get married, that tattoo is stupid. Like, nobody should ever get somebody's name that big. Like, literally, unless you're going to name your child that name, like, you're going to go have a baby. Hope it's a boy. I don't even know what the last name was. I don't even know if that's a name.
It was Phillips.
See, and it's got an S on it, so that don't make sense. You can't be like, Philip is for my son, but what's the Phillips? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then, like, so, like, even if she met somebody else, had a son, named him Phillips, like, it's still, now you need to get your daughter's name tattooed huge, because then it don't make sense. I'm like, to me, that tattoo is stupid. And then in the location of it, that's just awkward already. Because then if you wear a belly shirt, like, some of it's gonna show, or you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's an awkward spot. Like, that's something that I wouldn't have got a tattoo that big of no name. Not even my kid's name would have been that big. Like, that to me was excessive. And then to find out that you don't know all the details about this man and you did that, that's weird. And then to me, if I was his family, I'd be like, okay, are y'all getting married, or what's the deal? Because why would you tattoo his last name as if that's gonna be your last name? And I'm sorry, even if we got married and that's my last name, now I wouldn't want my last name that big on my stomach. Like, that just, to me, it's not even cute. It's a word across your stomach, and it's huge. And it's like, not even your husband's name, not your kid's last name, not your maiden name. You know what I mean? So if you never get married to him, you're gonna legally change your last name so that makes sense. Like, I don't get it. Like, and then to remove it, its own skin, to me, like, your stomach skin would be so sensitive that to remove that is gonna hurt. Like, tattoos already depend on location, hurt more than other places, and I just can't even imagine removing it off of the stomach. Like, I know that's gonna hurt, but that's like my biggest thing about her, is that tattoo is so stupid. Like, when I saw that, I was like, this girl's dumb anyways. And I didn't say she dumb, but she got something a little off about her, because that, to me, that's excessive. She could have got it small on her arm, even a small little bit on her, you know what I'm saying? But she went across, like they said, that's your whole torso. Like, yeah, that was stupid. And then the daughter, I do agree to an extent about the daughter, because I mean, of course, any man that you have, like, it's gonna be in the daughter's life regardless. But I know the daughter is about to go to college. So I think that's the reason she's making some of these quick decisions, because she knows, like, no matter what, the daughter could end up going somewhere else or staying in Jacksonville or, whatever. And they may not be living together anyways, like, soon, because I think the daughter is in her senior year or something. So she's about to go to college if it ain't already time for her to start trying to go to college. I can't remember what they said. So that might be one of the reasons she ain't consider her daughter's feelings as much. And she was telling the daughter, like, yeah, even if the daughter didn't move to wherever she's going, she still got a place for her. And I feel like that's still fair. I mean, because if she didn't go to school in Jacksonville, she would still leave. You know what I mean? So either way, the daughter, what happens to the daughter matters because that's her child, and you don't want to have no negative man in your life, period, to set that example. But I think that's part of why she didn't consider hers because she's not going to be there anyways. And then the fact that she's finding out he's never had a relationship. To me, that's not that's a red flag, but I don't know. I mean, that's something he would have never told her anyway. So finding that out through the family, that sucks. But it doesn't mean that he can't actually like her and be different this time around.
Okay, so something I'm gonna say to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he may not have ever told her that I have never been loyal to a woman. But if you are listening to things that he is saying about his past, you can pick that up without it being told to you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she could have asked how long is your longest relationship, and if he said a week, then you already know like he ain't never had nothing long term. Or if he said even 2 months, like to me that's not long term. And I would even say a year. I'm not gonna say somebody who hasn't had a relationship longer than a year is a red flag, but at an older age, it's kind of like, unless he's just been single a lot, and I don't know. But that's something I figured she could have found out, but maybe she just didn't ask the right questions. But that's on her, like that she didn't know that. And then even the drugs.
What Jerome said, she's too busy
in a fantasy
trying to be in love that she's not even paying attention to what's going on.
But if you're gonna up and move, to me, she just don't have common sense. Yeah. You can do things with your heart, but you gotta have common sense when you talking about up and moving. Because even if you going by yourself, no child with you because she's in college, that's still uprooting and moving. Like that's not like, so that's a financial thing. Did she already have a job lined up? There's a lot of factors into that to me, not including the child is crazy, or not getting her daughter's opinion more on it is crazy. However, it's crazier to me that you didn't ask some of these questions. Like, if I know you do drugs, I would ask the question, like, is that the only drug you do?
Yeah, what is your drug of choice?
Have you ever done anything? If they were like, yeah, I'm a weed smoker, I'd be like, oh, okay, have you ever done anything else?
Yeah. And the minute crack or meth comes out, okay, let me hang this phone up now.
Yeah, I would be very leery of like certain drugs, or hey, you ever sell them? You do, you know what I'm saying? Like there's certain things that you need to know prior to getting involved with somebody, especially if they are somebody, because a lot of people smoke, and a lot of people don't consider that anything. But like in my case, I have a job where I can't be around it, so for me, that would be something that I'd have to know ahead of time. Like I can't just uproot and be like, oh, okay. Yeah, cool. You can smoke weed every day, and then I gotta pretend and lie on my clearance and stuff. No, you know what I mean? So it's like one of them things where she just ain't got common sense because she hasn't asked the right questions. And to find out that stuff from his family is crazy. And the daughter asking some of this stuff, I'm like, come on now. Why is the daughter asking more questions of you as an adult?
Right. All right, so let's hear what you have to say about this couple.
I agree with everything that Jerome and Reese said. The only thing that I would add is the reason why she is not considering her daughter's opinion is because her daughter is more responsible than she is.
Yeah, she know her daughter's gonna tell her right.
Right. The daughter's the one that's asking all the questions. The daughter's bringing up all the red flags, and the mama's is acting like she's the daughter. She's trying to relive her high school years or her college years or whatever she missed out on. So she don't want to listen to her daughter opinion on anything. She'll listen, like how parents would do. Listen to what their child say, but you still my child. You don't know no better. But in this case, the child obviously is the one that's asking all the questions. Yeah. And then the mother, the boyfriend's mom, and sisters freely giving up the answers, so warning her, and that's a good thing because I remember seeing one of the episodes where the woman, the little short black girl that was dating the bald head tall guy that came from out of prison, the one that had the cleaning the house thing, the one that had the problem with the stove being clean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and how she was talking to
Martell.
she was
Martell.
talking to Martell's mom,
Taylor or something.
and the mom knew all this stuff about her son, and she didn't tell the little girl. So
This is the
these,
little girl.
well, no, compared to him,
She's in
she's
her 30s.
yeah, so she's like tiny compared to him.
I
Uh,
know.
yeah, so well, yeah, 30. Okay, yeah, tell my age. Yeah,
Yeah, but you were saying it because of her size. So I get it, but I mean, he's a
yeah,
big dude, I guess.
yeah, So she so I give the sister and the mom, kudos for letting old girl know about her son and her brother,
Hmm.
and open it up so that she cannot repeat, or she can escape while she can. Because
Right.
because it's saying that there's jail talk. She's he said this here before, he done this here before, and all this here type of stuff. And then the mom come back. What is her name? I forgot the name. The one with the tattoo.
So let me ask you, because I know one another part that stuck out to me was when they said when he's in jail, he is a completely different person. I was
Right.
like, dog.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then she
I'll
would
tell him.
respond saying that, oh, but he said that he wouldn't do ABC. And then they come back, well, he said that last time when he was in jail. So yeah, so all that stuff goes. Yes, that's all that.
I had a question. Did y'all find it weird that like when they were driving away, like the mom sitting in the passenger seat, like, oh my God, I just really didn't know. Like, I can't believe I'm making these decisions. And the daughter's driving, like, yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that must look so stupid.
Mhm.
That's so backwards. This should be the daughter sitting there, like, I made such a bad decision. And mom, I tried to warn you.
Right.
Yep. They had definitely switched roles in that moment. It was funny. Okay. So I guess we can go on to Chelsea and Mikey. All right. So the scene opens up. Chelsea saying she's about to go to Kentucky. I'm sorry. I like Chelsea's dad. He keeps it real with her. Even if she don't be wanting to hear it, he does keep it real with his daughter. He tries to look out for her. He had told her it was the dumbest idea for her to go to Kentucky, and she was like, she don't care. She wants to go, and so she went. She did, and she meets with his mom, which I liked how well she was getting along with his mom and his grandma. I was just a little bit worried that the mom may be saying the things that Mikey has told her to say to Chelsea. I don't know if the mom was being genuine or not. I just couldn't put my finger on it. And so Mikey actually ends up calling over the phone while Chelsea is there. And the mom, she answers the phone and then she's telling Chelsea the things um, that Mikey is saying. Well, at least she's speaking to her because Chelsea can read lips, so she tells her what he's saying. And so she had spoken to the phone and said hi to Mikey, and he was like, "Oh, this is the first time I've heard her. I've never heard her voice before." Um, that was cute. But the mom says that Mikey he had a mini stroke and a big stroke at the same time, but that the mom wasn't able to go see him, because of prison regulations. And so that was pretty much their scenes. We just saw them. They were out on the porch, getting to know each other. They talked to Mikey when he called. She talked to his mom and his grandma. It seems like the mom was impressed with Chelsea's looks because she kept on saying how pretty she is. But I'm like, talk to her, really get to know her. Let's stop talking about how pretty she is. I'm not trying to say that she's not pretty, but I'm just like, there's more to a person than just being pretty. All right. So, thoughts on Chelsea and Mikey this week?
Yeah. I thought it was cute. Um, I agree the dad does keep it real, and I appreciate him for that. I didn't get the vibe that it was a setup how she was talking to her. I really felt like she was being for real. Maybe I'm wrong, but it didn't feel fake to me. Um, I think she really saw how sweet she was because she even said, "I hope Mikey don't mess this up," because
Yeah.
she really
So, I'm
likes
not
him.
saying that I definitely feel like she was, but I just wasn't feeling like she was being sincere. I was trying to feel that, but that's the only thing I'm. but I don't know.
I don't know. I kind of felt like she was, but at the same time, the only thing that bothers me is that before she left, she was saying she didn't know anything. Then suddenly, when you get there, she knew the whole story. So it's like, did you just get the details, or were you lying initially? And then the other thing I picked up that I didn't care for was that twice Chelsea said, "I love you," and then she said, Chelsea said she loved you. And then he's like, "Thank you, tell her I love her too," or whatever. He's like, "Thank you, I love her too." And then she was like, he said, "Thank you." She never told her that he said, "I
Yeah,
love you."
she
And he said
did.
it back twice when she said it twice. But she never repeated that. So to me, that was odd. So I'm like, maybe it isn't sincere. I don't know, but because that was weird to me. And then the grandma seemed standoffish. I don't know if she just is
Did.
quiet, or maybe she ain't feeling Chelsea, or maybe she's just, don't really know what to say right now. I thought it was funny with the tattoos and stuff.
Yeah.
Because grandma definitely don't look like she would have tattoos. So I thought
Brandy
that was
is
pretty funny.
tatted up.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty funny. But it made my heart happy, just the fact that even if it's a setup or not, or whether they being genuine or not, they still made her feel like it wasn't a wasted trip like everybody else's trip seemed to be.
Yeah.
She felt welcomed and she felt loved, and they kept saying how pretty she was, so I know she felt good. Like it probably helped confidence around them if you're like, oh wow, they think I'm so pretty, so now you feel confident around them versus, oh, they being weirded out because I'm deaf, and now
Yeah.
they're being weird and distant. Like they were all very nice. Like I said, with the exception of grandma was a little distant, but that just might be her personality, or maybe she don't know what to do because she's deaf, and maybe she
All
doesn't know
right.
how to respond. But she didn't seem negative. She just didn't seem like as open as the mom was. But the mom seemed like she really liked her, so I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that's a good thing, because now after meeting her, maybe if something is going on or something comes up, maybe the mom will be honest with her, because she don't want to see her get hurt after meeting her. So, or she'll tell him do right. I don't know.
Okay. Anyone else?
I agree. I agree. I agree with most of what about everything that Reese said. Um, the dad, yeah, as a dad, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, I'm gonna be that protective. She probably wouldn't have seen me just covertly if you'd have showed the camera. You'd have seen me back in the bushes looking to make sure my daughter was still all right, because that could have went totally left.
Yeah.
When going there and with no plan, you're deaf. You can't really just sit here and call for help no matter what happens. If you sit here and get hurt, you don't have any support around you. You get lost. Everybody doesn't know sign language, and everybody can't understand how you sound. So yeah, there was a lot of irresponsibility for Love. As far as meeting the mom and them, yeah, how all of a sudden we had all this information. So I don't know if the mom was just being kind of reserved, so she got a feel for, and then decided to tell her more afterwards. But I too felt like it was genuine, and I'll say, you know what, I'm almost willing to say sorry to Mikey, because I really thought this was all a setup. I had another woman on the side. I'm trying to hide this from here, but the way the mom was sounding and just how he was sounding on the phone, that's a lot to plan. If you actually going to go to a lawyer's office, you're not going to go to a lawyer's office all just to cover up, cover something up. So, Mikey, apologies. I put $1 on your commissary.
I feel like I went in on him. I ain't putting $1, but I feel like I went in on him too.
But yeah, all in all, I think the meeting went pretty good, and talking about each other. But they should have really talked more about what's your plans and all that sort of. But I think she was just really the initial getting comfortable and warm up. But I would hope if they're there for a little while and realize the grandma realizes that this is someone Mikey's really feeling, and vice versa, that they'll get more in depth of, well, what do you plan on doing with my son? How do you plan on getting them on the straight and narrow and keeping them focused?
I agree with both Jerron and Reese said again. And then too, I didn't see where it seemed like she wasn't genuine. I didn't really notice the part that she didn't say "I love you" back, but If she didn't, then hey, I can see it as just a mother and daughter relationship. I mean, mother and son relationship, and really ain't be like, I ain't telling that woman that my son in love with him and all this stuff. Uh, but he because the thing that I do, I think if things was to go a little south, I think the mom would tell, uh, oh girl, hey, my son is acting up. So, you know, I think she'd try to even tell the son to straighten up because she did say, I'll take care of him. So she obviously she likes her and think that that
Mhm.
is a great thing for her son when he gets out. Maybe she might help him get his stuff together. So
Hmm.
I think she legitimate likes hopefully her future daughter-in-law.
Okay. All righty. Good stuff. All right. So then we go and we see the tween. That's what I'm calling her. Melissa and Louie. Okay. So Melissa's up to her little childish ways. And so she's still in Georgia. And so this time she decides to go and visit one of his friends named Dirk. Okay. So while she's at the restaurant that I guess Dirk is the owner of the restaurant, it's like a pizza shop or whatever. And so Dirk is telling her things about him. He's saying how he used to work there and, they knew that he was an alcoholic before he started working there, but then it became obvious that he was doing other stuff because he'd go into the bathroom, he'd be in there for 20, 30 minutes and stuff. And then he also tells her that he has offered Louis a job there, said Louis can absolutely get a job there. And so then we have Melissa sitting there looking like, and he accepted this position? He's like, yeah, it's my understanding he's coming here to work. And so, of course, she gets a little bit upset. So when she um, leaves from there, she calls him. I'm thinking he has to have like a contraband phone because you can't just call the prison and they just answer. So I'm thinking he must have a contraband phone. So he
Maybe
does
he was at
answer.
work.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe he was at work. Maybe that's how she got him. But it's just weird how she calls him and she just gets him. But anyways, so she calls him. She's like, "Oh, we need to have a talk." But it's funny because his demeanor and stuff, he was a little bit more. I don't want to say this. Um, he wasn't necessarily just being a. I'm not going to say he wasn't being a sweetheart, but it was like he really wasn't trying to hear what she was talking about. So she had brought up. She had heard that from his mom that supposedly he was going to be like doing this whole yoga thing. That's what I'm gonna call it because I think he's supposed to be like learning how to be a yoga instructor, right? Is that what it was? Okay. And so the woman that's supposed to help him is a woman, and so Melissa doesn't like that. She's insecure about that. She also brings up the fact that Dirk told her that he had offered him a job, and he was like, "Well, yeah, because I have to stay in Georgia. I'm not going to be able to leave immediately, so I'm going to need a job." And he's like, "You know what? I'm just going to get off the phone. I'm not going to deal with this." When she tried to bring up the whole yoga instructor, he was like, "I'll hang up on you." And they do end up getting off um, the phone, and in true Melissa fashion, here we go. She went to one of the ladies' yoga classes. And then and she actually went through with the class, did all the yoga poses and everything. And then when the class was over, she wanted to talk to the instructor. I'm like, leave her alone. Oh my God, what do you hope? That's all. I'm not gonna say what I want to say about her. So she starts talking to the yoga instructor, and the yoga instructor's like, "Yeah, I know him from such and such prison." She didn't get what she was looking for. Basically, at the end of it, she didn't get it. Y'all's thoughts on Melissa? She was aggravating me this episode. Any
Yeah.
thoughts on her?
Uh, what I about the yoga thing I had found that was funny because while she was on the phone talking about she's gonna go see the woman, she guess she's a private detective and she's gonna get her PI on. But
Mm-hmm.
as soon as she walk up to the woman, she's like, "I'm Louis' girlfriend." I was like, how is she supposed to tell you stuff? Because if you tell me that you is the person boyfriend who I'm dating, I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm his instructor. What I'm saying. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be all giving up information. And then the other thing about the PI thing, I was like, okay, so if you this great PI, how come you didn't notice she have a wedding ring on?
Correct.
So that's right there. And then the way she was talking, she did the dog in pose or whatever pose. And she's like, yeah, right. She got her butt all in my face. And then they showed the camera view, and I was like, her butt is nowhere near your face. So what is wrong with you, woman? So the whole time she's talking, she just remind me of a high school kid. So she's back
Yeah,
in
a tween. Right.
yeah. So she's back in high school, reliving her high school days because she got the popular boy that nobody wants now.
Right.
So and then he talking about we can end this conversation. I'd have kept on talking because I want some information. Give me some information. Now if you're gonna get off the phone with me, then hey, fine. Then I won't come see you. So but Louis being all big and bad, so I'd have called his bluff on that one. So but other than that, yeah, that's all I got.
See, I ain't like how Louis was acting on the phone. Like, to me, that was a red flag. If she's nobody, you should just say she's just my yoga instructor. She's an instructor. Like, why are you bringing this up, if anything? But no, I'm not going to talk about this. Like, if that's something you're pursuing, then talk about it. Like, what's wrong with it? It's something you're pursuing. Because to me, if you're pursuing it, but you're not telling me nothing about it, makes me suspicious.
Right.
Then, I get where I feel like Louis is not planning on going to Jersey, but
Yeah,
I get why he would, if he has a place he can go work, regardless if he's gonna be there 2 weeks to 6 months, let him work. Like, he needs to make some sort of money. You want him to just sit at his mom's house doing nothing? Like, let the man
That's exactly
work.
what she wants him to do.
Like, obviously he's working now, so he's not a bum. He's somebody who will work. And if he's already got a job lined up when he gets out of prison, to me, that's better than half of these men that, you know what I'm saying, we've seen on the show who come out and then they got to go find a job, or they come out and they don't know what they're going to do. This dude already got a job lined up. People who know his history got enough faith in him and they're going to let him come. That could be hard. Like, it could be that he can't find a job, but he already got one lined up. So I feel like, in a way, let him save his money up. Let him do whatever. If yoga's clearing his mind, let him do his yoga. But like John said, sitting up in there judging the girl, talking about some, she's doing that downward dog. That's a yoga pose. You can't go in a yoga studio and get mad at the yoga instructor for doing yoga poses. That was so childish. Right. I'm like, she bending in child's pose. It's like, that's what she's supposed to do. She's teaching a class and you're doing the poses too, except you're the only one that's like tense and looking up. So you ain't even getting the benefit. You just relax and do the class, maybe you understand what it is that he likes. Like, you wouldn't let yourself do nothing but be like just angry and mad.
It's crazy because she wasn't doing some wild yoga poses. That was regular yoga.
Yeah, that's the basic stuff that everybody knows, the downward dog and all of that. Like, these ain't even the ones where you doing stuff where you gotta have like all this core strength and splits and all this other stuff. She's doing the basic stuff and no girl was just angry. And I'm like Sean said, if you're gonna be that bad of a PI, don't even take the class. Just go right in there and be like, "Hey, I'm his girlfriend. What's this about?"
Right.
I'm hearing he trying to have you as a boss or a teacher. What y'all got going on? If you're gonna be like that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then she was actually twirling her ring too. I couldn't remember if it was on what finger it was on, but I was assuming because it was a band that it was a wedding ring, and I remember her twirling a ring. So I'm like, so she purposely showed it to the camera, but a girl just was so naive to be like, you're a yoga instructor. Probably was like, you're slim and you're cute. This is why he's doing it. This is the only reason. You know what I mean? Like, the way she was acting. I'm like, nah, maybe that dude just really got stress relief out of it. Yoga has good benefits. Almost every medical condition that people have, yoga is always one of the first things that comes up. Like, try yoga, you know what I'm saying? So it has benefits all across the board. I don't do yoga, but I've been told to do it, so I know it's got its benefits. It's just, to me, hard. But if he gets something out of it, maybe you should let yourself relax and try it to see what it is that he likes about it. And then she going up to her talking about what is it he likes. How does she know what he likes about it? I'm just his yoga instructor. How am I supposed to know what he likes? Like, did she go around the room and say, what did y'all enjoy about the class? If not, she probably didn't do that in any class because she didn't know who you were that day in her class.
Sure.
And she probably can't even ask them kind of questions at the prison. You know, it's probably just a strict like do the yoga and then get out. Don't be so, you know, don't be sitting up having all these conversations with the inmates.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I don't really get how she's acting outside of it just being like an old jealous tween that this her first boyfriend and she don't know how to act and she just overly
Right.
jealous and she's taking out the fact that the mom don't like her now and that the mom said he's not leaving, especially taking that out on everybody now.
Yeah, that's what she's ultimately doing. I think she does not like the conversation she had with his mom.
And like Sean said, she's a terrible, terrible private eye because like you don't go in there and give them your hand. Like it's like a poker player. Like, here's what I got. What you got? You know, no, you bet first because you're gonna win. You know what I'm saying? She gonna show her hand before she even played the game. Terrible.
Thanks, Jerome. So what you got for us?
I agree with Sean and Reese. The lack of surprises. She is acting. She was attracted to this guy because of the high school days and acting still like that high school teen. And it seems like he's trying, even though he's made mistakes, he's trying to mature moving forward. And she still has these ideals. You know, and talking to him, you know, she finds out information. Oh, he's not going nowhere. It's like she just had this idea that he's just going to get out. He's going to walk straight out into the car, drive straight down. Like there's going to be no kind of restrictions or anything. You didn't investigate none of this. Just the same as you basically risked him having more time popping up to his job to have a Copperfield moment. And then, like I said, then calling, he's like, listen, you're going to aggravate me. Don't do it. Well, I'm going to say it anyway. Oh, okay. Get off the phone. Well, I'm going to fix that. I'm going to go see the yoga instructor. That's going to make him feel any better, like he's not going to find out. Then you go doing the yoga. These are regular yoga poses. The only thing she had in her mind, what the mama said, and the downward dog probably had in her mind, oh, that was probably like this, and I ain't even know it. You know, you're messing this up in your own head. Now, there's different levels to insecurity. She just got more and more. Hi, this is who I. Hey, how you doing? Well, going is the first part. Going there and saying, hi, how you doing? This is who I am. That's the next part. Then you get to the part of, well, I'm looking at you, and it's like, well, I can see by looking at you this that I can see why y'all like each other. Oh, that was just a whole level of where if that lady had an ounce of respect for you, you lost it. Because at the point you say that, hey, I'm such and such, you just look like someone who just wants to meet somebody technically. And they could let that slide like, okay, she just wanted me to meet her. Okay, no problem. But now you're insinuating that we have something going on. If they had something going on, I mean, we've seen the other couples, they're going to say that, oh, okay, that's nice. We have a great relationship, but nobody has a girlfriend. I won't say a word. It doesn't happen that way.
No.
And you should have picked up on that as soon as you said something, but you kept going. And now she just basically ruined everything due to her, what she wants, her insecurity. She's too selfish in her thought, and she still has a teenage mindset. And she's going to try to blame everybody else but herself, and everybody going to tell her about it.
Yeah, she's doing the most.
She really is.
That's what I'm waiting to see what happens when he find out she went there. Because I don't know if old girl's going to tell it or if she's just going to tell on herself.
Yeah, because I have the feeling he's going to find out, and I don't think he's going to be happy about it.
She probably going to tell him, like, oh, and by the way, I went and seen your yoga.
Oh, yeah, I can see her being so dumb as to tell him that she did it.
But it's almost like you don't even know if he's attracted to her. Like, you going in there making that opinion. Because he could, like, be like, she cute, but she married, and I don't want that. Even if I'm with you or not, it could be, she okay, but she ain't my type. But I like the yoga class. Or it could be, he could be like, I'm not attracted to her. But she just assuming it, and you haven't even talked to him. Now, I got the red flag. I do get, because of the red flag of him not wanting to talk about her and him getting so mad and angry about it, that is a red flag. So I get what made push her to go to the class, but
I mean, the fact that he's making all these moves to clearly not move to be with you is a red flag. Dial it back, sis.
I probably would have went to that class like twice just to get a vibe. I wouldn't even said nothing day one. Might
And
even
at
just watch
least
from outside. Like, does she walk and talk with the other students? Is there a man? You know what I'm saying? Then the next time I went to the class, get my money's worth out the class, then talk to her after I got a good workout in. Like, hey. But like Jerome said with that whole, oh, so this is what it is. It's like, no, you just insinuating, accusing
Now,
something.
that is something I don't know why I didn't think about it when I was watching the episode. She paid money to go to the class.
right. That means the instructor got compensated for dealing with that nonsense. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And if she messing with her man, I'm messing with your man, and you pay for my class. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's funny. I don't know how that breezed over my mind, but I just thought about it in a second. Like, wait a minute. She also paid for this class too.
Yeah. To not enjoy it, like, and I'm like, and yo, that's not easy. So the fact that you bending your body in ways and then tensing your neck up, I'm sorry she ain't hurt herself. Shit. You ain't relax at all. Like, you ain't even try. Like, she's get some benefit out of it. Yoga ain't
Yeah,
getting-
exactly. All right. So the next couple is Justine and Michael. There's a lot of Michaels on this season. And anyway, so we see. Okay, start off with this. Last episode, Michael gave Justine a luxury car. He gave that to her. He's in prison, yes, but somehow he was able to gift her this. So we see that Justine is showing off the car to her cousin, right? And she has kind of like, because of lack of a better word, I'm gonna call it a mural of her and Michael. This mural also contains this man's toenails. I, I don't know what to say about that. And so, the cousin is looking at it. She's like, "Oh, did you notice the toenails yet?" And la la la. Cousin, she looked disgusted by it, but whatever. Um, and so Michael ends up calling, and the cousin asked him a couple of questions. But when she started asking him questions like about the money he's spending, he wouldn't really answer her. And so when Justine got off the phone, she had asked her like, "Hey, are you, satisfied with the questions you got to ask?" And the cousin's like, "No." And so Justine decides to, I guess, kind of defend him. And because the cousin's like, "Are you not worried about where this money is coming from?" And she's like, "I think the money is coming from his music career. That's a very lucrative." I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all tell me, what do y'all think? Where do y'all think this money coming from? Is it probably illegal, you think? Or you think he's making that much off of iTunes or whatever?
I think
Uh,
it's I think it might be coming from past history. Like maybe he got money put away somewhere.
Mhm.
He could still be in the game and got people on the outside that's working for him. But I don't think that's something the cousin should bring up on the show just in case.
Right.
But it could be previous money that nobody knew about, and that's how he's doing it. Or I don't know, maybe he got some sort of hookup. I don't think it's from the iTunes because who didn't heard of this dude? I mean, I guess that ain't to say that you can't make money off of it if you like a underground or he might be known where he's from or something. I don't know, but yeah, I don't think it's a dirty car, but I don't think the money that bought the car necessarily was clean money. Like it might have been from crimes or previous whatever he used to do.
Mhm.
What is his crime? Did you have
I
that
don't
written down?
remember. I
Yeah, I had it written down, but I
want to
don't.
say it was drugs, but I could be wrong. And I
Yeah,
don't
so if
remember.
he was like drug dealing, maybe it's old drug money or something. Who knows? But regardless, she said he gets mad when you bring that up, and then when he got the phone, he didn't say like bye or I love you. He just hung up.
Mhm.
And I don't know if that's because the phone cut off or because he was annoyed by the questions, but she already knew to expect that. And then too, it's already too late now. They already married, so I mean,
Yeah.
if that's drug money and they go, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully he wouldn't put himself at risk in a dirty car. Hopefully he's smarter than that. As far as that wall, like she said, he sent her stuff like blood and sperm, and I was
Hmm.
like, I think that stuff is pretty gross.
Yeah.
I don't see why you sending sperm unless it's to try to get yourself pregnant. or something, which I feel like the way she said he sent it, it probably wasn't preserved to the point of making it safely anyways. It probably was already dead when it got there. But the blood, that's disgusting.
Mhm.
Toenail clippings, that's nasty. Like, who wants to see that anyways, period? Like, there's nothing cute about toenail clippings. Maybe a baby's toenail clippings because they these little teeny tiny little things. But that's
No,
the
not
look.
even their
But I'm
toenail
saying, but
clippers.
that's the limit I'm gonna take it to. Like some newborn baby toenail clippings where you like, look how little you can barely see them type. Or my baby's first clippings. I don't know if you want to be that obsessive, but a grown man's toenail clippings, that's disgusting to me. It's like a grown woman's toenail. That's gross. Like an adult. These toenails gonna keep growing and you're gonna keep flipping. You know what I'm saying? And eventually that ain't gonna be cute. He coming in the house clipping them and they everywhere. I'm sure it ain't gonna be cute then.
Yeah.
But yeah. I felt like that wall, like it was everything was cute until I realized she had stuff like that on it. Now I'm like, wait, this is not an obsessed wall, like a wall of love and all of our prison pictures and all our, pictures I didn't printed out of you or me, whatever. This is just this is like a total obsessive wall. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Hanging up the toenail clippings and him sending them, that's just weird. Like they're gonna be into some really weird stuff when he come home. I don't know if she ready for that. Or maybe she is. I don't know. It's just weird to me.
All right. So, guys, would you clip your toenail
Cowboys
clippings
got a touchdown.
and mail
Sorry.
them?
Go Cowboys.
Oh, you would?
No, we're talking about
No.
Cowboys.
No, I know. I was messing with Jerome.
um, no, I'm not. I mean, it's like I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that. That'd be one
Yeah.
of them. No, and the glove with this button, no. All that stuff is just blister. If you want
Yeah.
to accept a blister from me, I'm
Wait,
gonna question.
Yeah, the blister would.
how do you get a blister like in its form? Like
I
how
don't
did
know.
they get the blister?
I guess when the blister get one on your foot or whatever,
Yeah,
or
but even
like
that
a
it peels,
callus,
it does
and
that. Like did you cut the blister off smooth and then put it? It will bleed. Like how did they get a
And
blister?
then how did she even recognize that it was a blister in the? I don't know.
That's
Maybe
what
he
I'm
told
saying. It
her,
would have to
but
be
I
in
don't
its
know.
full form, like sticking up, and you didn't cut it off and somehow sent it, and it's like, oh shoot, there's the blister, like on a paper or something. I don't get that. I didn't get. I forgot about the blister. How do you get a
yeah,
blister? Like, how do you physically have a blister? Like, unless they medically cut it out. But if they medically cut it out, they wouldn't give it to you. If they cut some out, they usually test it
you use the little blade you made, when you sharpen plastic that's hidden under the pillow, and that's what you use.
and cut your blister off and send it in the mail. They sick.
Just
And
nasty.
blood, and blood.
Yeah, and blood. Yeah.
Probably how she got the blood that she was talking about.
It's nasty.
But I mean, I'll
Ew.
say, I mean, even outside of that, I think the money is really either money that was from previous jobs that been done that's been hidden that no one knew about. You know how when they capture somebody, there could be 50 million. It's like, yeah, we recovered 42 million. So I think that's where it is. I really don't think it's like I don't believe that it's a hot car because he's not going to take that risk because his kids are there also.
Hmm.
So he wouldn't sit there and risk his own kids like that. But and you're right. Why would the sister wants to know? And I get it, you're concerned. But do you realize how much jeopardy you put this guy in when you start saying, "Oh, how did you buy her this car? How did you buy her this? How did you buy her that?" They're gonna, that's gonna. I mean, they record all those calls. They're gonna start thinking,
Hmm.
"Well, how are you doing this? Are you?" And they're gonna make them track him, and he'll never get out. So you're gonna be
Right.
married to a lifer. So I say just and these two just they are made for crazy. Let them have each other. Family, don't worry about it. She's already made up her mind. She done married him in jail. Just let them be and protect the kids.
Yeah. Very much so. All right, now Sean, I'm waiting to hear. Have you ever clipped your toenails and gave them to somebody?
No, I did not. And all that other stuff that
Never
that
cut off a blister?
no, because all of that, where I'm from, New Orleans, and back then, we kind of practiced that voodoo. So I can say I never practiced voodoo. However, if you got somebody toenails, you can chop that stuff up and you can turn it to dust. And then you got some dust, and then you got their blood, so you add some more DNA, then you got the what? What else you gave? The
Yeah.
sperm. So there's some more stuff that that woman can use to put a voodoo curse on you. So no, I wouldn't do any of that type of stuff. Now I have on my bow tie because I just wanted to dress up because her husband couldn't dress up for their wedding, so I decided to put on one on behalf. So
Okay.
at least somebody that she know, even though she don't know me, uh, is dressed. So she ain't the only one that was dressed at her wedding. So
Okay.
And then the other thing is that the whole thing with her, the question, uh, my thing is she shouldn't have asked her. She shouldn't have gave her permission to ask anything because she said ask anything you want while he's on the phone. So she shouldn't have did that to
No.
because she should have known that everybody is wondering where they get the car from, and she should know how her cousin is. So her cousin's going to be concerned and wants to know too. So that's something that she should have just talked to her cousin on the side. It's like, hey, you have any questions? Hey, you can just ask me anything, and not just ask Michael anything you want to ask him. So here, be free. So if you give me permission to ask anything, I will ask anything. And that would be one of my questions because I'm concerned about my cousin because he could have bought the car illegally, put it in her name, thinking that just because the car is in her name, that he can get clean money, take some dirty money,
Mhm.
clean it up by buying her stuff. So maybe the cousin know about that type of stuff. So yeah, not even though if that would be the case, if I was him, I would not answer that question.
No,
So
not at all. Would not have.
yeah.
Okay.
And then being in prison, yeah, I can get that you upset when people ask you where you get your money from, how you make your money, all that type of stuff. But the concern, like, hey, you're doing all this stuff. Where are you getting this money from? You still are you showing signs that you're going to change when you get out, or are you still doing the same thing and you trying to just figure a way out because people kind of learn from their mistakes and figure, hey, I can do this here differently. And by doing it differently, I can get away with it, still do some bad stuff, but I just clean up because I learned some things while I was in prison. Because
Hmm.
Joe told me he did this and he told me how to do that. And then so this is what I'm going to do, give the dirty money to my girl, and then we can make it clean money. Then when I come out, I can enjoy the money and not have to worry about people wondering how did I get all this money when I just got out of prison. So, I can see that. And then that's what the family concern could be about, hey, something like that, and uh, yeah, that's all pretty much I got on that case there. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Alrighty. So our last couple that we saw was Mark and I know I'm about to butcher her name, Sincera. So he's talking to one of his friends. We see he's walking around one of his real estate venture properties or whatever. And so he tells his friend he has an idea to help get Sincera out of prison earlier. He wants to get her pregnant because he thinks in his mind that if he gets her pregnant, then she'll be able to walk out the prison, which to me was the dumbest idea ever. Um, and so he actually ends up getting a call from another girl in prison that he knows. And so he tells her, because Sincera also calls in while he's talking to her. He's like, hey, I'm going to put you on three-way. I want you to talk to her. And so he is wanting this girl to basically help coax him into doing this scheme with Sincera. But once it was brought up, Sincera was like, no, I'm not going to get out of prison by getting pregnant. They're still going to keep me here. And she's like, and then even if I went about doing all this, I could get in trouble, which I don't think he's thinking about because they're going to wonder, how did she get pregnant? And that could cause a whole nother issue, give her even more time. So Sincera is not about what he's talking about. And then it's crazy because she actually ends up getting upset because she's like, wait a minute, how many women are you talking to that are inmates? And he is just at a loss for words. He don't know what to say. He don't know how to get himself out of this situation. She ends up hanging up on him. And well, it was funny. He thought she had hung up. No, yeah, he thought she had hung up, and that the other girl was still on the phone. And he was like, "You're supposed to help, help me to convince her to do it." And she's like, "It's still me. I'm still on the phone." I was like, I started laughing, and I said, "Boy, I cannot believe." Um, but I totally understand how she felt because it's like, wait a minute, you got me on the phone with another prisoner. Forget what you're talking about at this point. I totally understood her in that moment when she was like, "How many women are you talking to? Because this is not normal right here." All right, so tell me your thoughts on this and his ideal of getting her pregnant and thinking that if she got pregnant, they would just let her out of jail.
I think he's seen one too many movies,
Mm,
living a fantasy idea, thinking that he's the smartest person in the world because he made money however he made his money, and if he can think of something, it can be done type thing. Because he's a moron. Uh, just because the person have a baby in prison don't mean they're going to get out. They just let them have that baby in prison.
yeah, I mean, all the women would manage to get themselves pregnant so they could get out
Right,
of prison if that's it.
right, right. So
Oh,
yeah, and then I didn't even think about that part. That yes, she would get in trouble, but then she had to answer the question, where did the sperm come from?
mm-hmm.
So now the first people that they're going to blame is going to be the prison guards
Yeah,
because they're going to think that the guards are having sex with the woman. Now that might get her out. She can lie and say that, hey, it was so and so that did it to me, and then hey, who knows, sue her way out. But other than that, it's just crazy. And then I do admire that she did hang up the phone and she was like, "How many people you actually talking to?" So instead of sitting there and trying to be like, and then to me it shows that she's not trying to play him, because she don't want nothing from him. She just was looking for, conversation or whatever she was looking for, or hoping that she can find something in him, and she thought she had something. But see it on his side, it looks like he's trying to find conversation with anybody, So, and he's just looking for that one, and she's just one of many, and she don't want to be one of the minis. And I admire that and respect that. Walk
mm-hmm.
away. Don't spend all your time and your time, because time is money, with this individual that's not showing you that they're actually serious about you. Because
Right.
you show me what you are, then believe it, until you show me something different. So and the having the person on the end, I was like, what type of person do you think I am? To where you might have someone else on the other phone to try to convince me to do something that I know is going to cause me to do more time. So, and you think just because you got another prisoner who is doing time for doing something illegal is going to convince me, who's doing time for doing something illegal, to do something illegal so that I can get more time, when I'm trying to get out and become this modern citizen and let them show that, hey, maybe I can get out on parole, good behavior, but I'm entertaining this here foolishness. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you jeopardizing her life. And then she's telling him that it's not going to work, but because he's so smart and he can beat the system, he knows it's going to work.
Right.
That
And
tells you,
he's doing all this on a phone call that is most likely recorded. Like,
right, right.
bye bye.
So let's say she was cunning, or uh, permissive, and she went out there and did have sex with someone, and she get pregnant. She can always say it was him that did it, you know. And say, where's the proof? The proof is in the pudding, is in the phone calls, because he sent me the he sent me the rubber with the sperm in it, and I put it in. So that's how I got pregnant, and then that way she can have sex with all the guards that they want to have. She want to have sex with. You don't have to worry about any repercussions. Since he wants to live in the fantasy world, I can fantasize that happening too. Yeah, that's all I got.
I agree with what y'all said. I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, first of all, it's a recorded line, so your plan is already known about. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you send mail, they're probably looking at your mail harder than
Mm-hmm.
maybe other people's mail. Then
Make sure there's no extra packages coming through.
yeah. And then two, once again, here we are with this whole sending sperm. If it ain't taken care of properly, I feel like, is it gonna live in a condom for however long it takes to mail it? You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's gonna be dead by the time it gets there anyways. Like he literally going to walk up and put it through a window and they're going to grab it. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't see that working anyways. And then the other part was the fact that he even just like was so bold to pull the other girl on the line was a trip to me. I'm like, so you just gonna pull her on the line and y'all gonna just have this conversation, and you thought that Sincera or whatever and the other chick was just gonna be like, oh, okay, just because the other girl was like, oh, this house for women, single moms. Like I feel like that maybe sounded like something, because maybe when this woman gets out, she don't know where she's gonna go. And if you were to have this property that you turn into a home for single moms, maybe she has other kids or something, or maybe she was liking him and figured like if we end up having a kid and I stay there, whatever the case may be. Which if they had a kid, I would think she'd be staying with him. But anyways, I feel like, even if she was on board, you messed it up by getting so cocky to bring somebody else on the phone. So you lost the one, because the one that hung up was the one who he thought was on board. Then you talking about oh man, I thought you're supposed to help me sell it to her. And then you find out you're talking to the one who wasn't the one you're supposed to help sell it to her. You know what I'm saying? She the one who said you was crazy the initial time that you mentioned that. So it's like, I don't know. And then, like I said, he watched too much TV. But the thing is, me watching TV, I always seen the babies get taken, not people get released. Yeah. Like the baby goes to the state or the baby goes to another family member. Like you don't get to, like, I think the only place I ever heard of you being able to even have that baby for a little bit is overseas. I think they allow the babies to live. Like there was one case I seen, that's an American girl that's overseas. She was able to keep her baby for like the first 2 years in prison. And then she had to give it to somebody, and she gave it to a person over, because her and the boyfriend were in jail overseas. She gave it to somebody over there, and I think the problem is trying to get the baby back now. And I think that's what happens with a lot of parents, or a lot of moms that give up custody, then that other person don't want to give it back. You got to show that you not going to stay out of trouble by give you custody back, because I'm not going to have to turn around and get it right back again, or me and this kid then bonded. I'm not going to let you run a life type stuff, So I think his fantasy world or even his TV world is still warped, because on TV, that's not what they show either, from what I've seen.
Something else I thought about. I was like, I don't think you really know this woman well enough to be impregnating her. And now she has your heir. You told us all this money, all these properties you have. Mm-hmm. Is this really the route you want to go?
And maybe that's what the first one, maybe that's what the initial one was thinking. Like, well, shoot, he do got money. Like, cause he got all these, he's an entrepreneur and has all these little businesses on top of his real estate. And then he does the computer stuff. Like he's some sort of engineer or something also. And it's like, do we know you have money? And that's probably why you're so cocky. Cause to me, he got the ex-president syndrome, where like, you feel like you can say and do whatever you want and nobody's supposed to care. And what people supposed to just be like, he got money, so I don't care that you just click me on the line with another girl telling me we both gonna live in a house like we some sister wives or something. Like, everybody's carrying your baby in this house. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's all I got.
Okay, so let's hear from the guys.
I agree. I mean, I agree with both what Sean and Reese said. He's a prick. He's a prick. And even the investor guy was like, he makes a lot of random decisions, like wanting to buy this 11-bedroom place and make it into a place for single moms. I'd be afraid to say he's making a place just for people to hook up with, that he's trying to find women that feel that because he's made money and he might have been a nerd that nobody ever talked to, or that he always got dissed about, going to find these women that think they have lower self-esteem and he can do whatever they want to have them around. Like, oh, here, yeah, you can go ahead and have a baby. Like she's just going to have a baby with a random person to get out. But, like Reese said, that is not always the case.
Yeah.
They take the child. And the fact that you sat here and he sat there being caught up and just adding the other girl, and he didn't even think twice about it. Oh yeah, these are both my girlfriends. Hold up a minute. Hey, girlfriend, meet girlfriend. Girlfriend, meet girlfriend. Like it was no problem. Like, hey, you mind if y'all talk? They're like, sure. Who really does that? He's like, how many guys? Oh, about 3 or 4. He wasn't even trying to lie to say it's just the 2 of y'all, and I'm trying to decide. He was like, maybe 3 or 4, but don't worry about that right now. That's not important. The important thing is that I'm sitting here trying to come to you and tell you that I'm trying to find you a way out. This is my idea, and you should do it. Although Sincera would be the one suffering all the consequences if it's not done right, where she get longer time in jail. Now she got a kid out here that she can't see. All these things. Meanwhile, you're just sitting here. Yeah, you might get stuck to pay for the child, and he wouldn't care unless they would put real child support on him. Then he's like, why is this happening to me? From your ignorance and thinking that you're bigger than whatever, can make whatever idea you want. And I think that's why he talks to all these inmates, because he feels like they're just really down on their luck. And because if he did that with an average woman,
he wouldn't
even go that far.
Yeah, I don't think he would even approached it because he would know better. Now, it
money ain't
seems
that
to me
long either.
also like he's trying to build a harem, building this house with all these rooms, and then putting underprivileged women in there so that he has this, like I said, harem of women that he can just sleep with.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said. He's trying to build him a house of sister wives or something.
Yeah.
But your money ain't that long.
You'll learn that real quick.
Mm-hmm. He might have money, but I still don't see him being like, you ain't no Nick Cannon. Even him, I feel like he gonna come. It's gonna hurt him soon too.
Yeah.
It's just too many babies. You try to go live that life, because I think the other 2 probably can't get them because they were sperm donations. But these other ones, man, you sending this sperm to the prisoners and they getting shorter sentences magically, and you getting them out, and now you got these babies. Like, these ain't babies that you just sperm donated or whatever. Like, no, these are your babies.
Well, right. They are saying that these children who are children from sperm donations, that they are going on to like 23andMe and stuff and finding their real fathers, and then the moms have been putting them on child support.
That ain't right though, because if I was to be like, you know what, forget it, I'm gonna have a child and I'm gonna get a sperm donor. My reasoning for doing that is to know, like, I'm gonna do this by myself because I'm going to a sperm donor, so I don't have a man obviously in my life that can get me pregnant or in my life. So I'm doing this. I'm not doing this to put you on child support. Like, even if I was like, I want a smart person just because I want my child to be, have good genes, you still can't go back and get somebody because you chose to do that and they're only donating it to make money. You're getting it because you don't have a partner, or, even in the cases of same-sex marriages, like, they don't have the tools to get pregnant, so they go and do it. That doesn't justify you going and putting someone on child support. No. Like, this man didn't sleep with you. This man wasn't with you. He don't even choose who gets his sperm.
Right.
You choose. Like, you can turn down certain sperms. I don't know if they really follow that, because some places, like the doctor was one giving it to everybody and they had the same sperm. Now, that person I would go after. Like, since you want to trick everybody. But, yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know they could do that.
Yeah.
Well, he already got 2 of them, then he better chill out. He'll be broke in a minute.
I think as smart as he claims to be, he's not planning out the financial. He sits there and says, do you need me to send the rubber or a vial? You can't put sperm in a vial and just mail it and then it just be there.
Or in a rubber and just mail it.
Yeah. So then you have a time frame.
Yes.
For that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to be putting that thing through a window and handing it direct so they can go use it. Like, this isn't no, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have nowhere to put it and protect it, because, like, when people do the donations, they're not just leaving and sitting out and people just coming in and let me get that vial.
A lot of times it's frozen.
Yeah.
They have to thaw it out.
Then you got to especially unthaw it. I don't think they just sit on the counter and let it unthaw out, because it probably can kill it. Like, there's probably a process to that too. That's why I'm like, what is he thinking? Like, it's probably a certain temperature can be frozen to, you know what I mean? Like, you're like an engineer and you don't know this stuff. And you're an engineer and you think that somebody getting pregnant is going to get short in their sentence. Because, yeah, like you said, the women's prison will be full of pregnant women and empty.
Yeah.
And every single time these people commit a crime, they'll just go in pregnant so they can get right back out.
Yeah, so they get right on back out. Yeah.
Should I tell the guard, like, I'm not gonna snitch on you, just get me pregnant, man. I'm trying to get out of here.
Can you imagine, like, me as a woman, I go and I rob a bank. I get, a couple $100,000. I get caught. So, I get out on bond. I get pregnant. So then I guess I don't have to do my sentence then?
Or
If
you
I
be
go with his logic,
that female drug lord who get kingpin charges, get pregnant and get out, because
Right.
I can't serve kingpin charges. I got a baby on the way. And they're like, that's true. So, well, I guess we were reducing this from kingpin charges to 6 months.
Right.
And even if you could, you look at how, let's say you just spend a decent amount of sperm, then you in there, hey, you want to get out too? I got some extra. Now you got 2 other women you ain't even know because she done shared your sperm out with everybody.
Yeah, or she
Let me
could be
pass
here
it to-
selling it.
I got a homie on
You
death
know?
row. Give it to her too, because I don't want her to get killed. And they like,
I know.
dang, is she pregnant? Shoot, you out.
And they're swapping their noodles for the sperm, passing it
Yeah.
around. Yeah.
Boy, I tell you, boy, I'd be like, send more. I'll be in prison rich. Like,
I ain't-
you here for, you got 2 consecutive lives? I can get you out in 4 months.
Right.
Pay me and I will get you that
Dessert.
sperm.
Give me your dessert for a week in 2 cartons, and you got that sperm.
Mm-hmm.
I want their whole commissary.
You'll
man.
be out by Thanksgiving, girl.
Whatever is loaded in your commissary, and you better load it up. Have them freshly
Mhm.
loaded. Transfer it to me, and I will transfer you the sperm. I will even go in my commissary and get you a turkey baster. I will help
Sperm
you out.
queen.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, man, it be the kingpin, the queen pin in the jail and out the jail. Like, shoot, like you get pregnant, you get back out, go back and live your life of crime, kill a few more people, come back, get pregnant again, get back out. Like, his theory is the dumbest mess in the world. Because if you really think about it, no one
Yeah.
would go to jail.
They wouldn't. They would not.
And you definitely wouldn't be scared of it because, like, all you gotta do is pop out a baby and then what? Give
Yeah,
it up for
look,
adoption.
they're in the courtroom. The judge reads out their sentence. They're laughing. No, I'm gonna do about 7.5
I know.
months. I'll
Little
be
did she
out.
know. Rubbing their belly, like, yeah. So you think?
I know.
Kingpin. They're like, this is your 3rd felony. We got you. I got you.
That's funny. This is my 3rd kid.
Mm-hmm. And they were like, this is your last time. You 3rd time offender, 3rd time felon. You're done.
Mhm.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. There's no
So-
such thing as a 3rd strike if you're a pregnant woman. There you go.
Mm-mm.
If you go by his thought process,
Yeah, get out, get your parking spots everywhere. Life be good, man. Be more
So
to
what
this
if you-
pregnancy than you think.
So what if you end up miscarrying? Do they just put you back in or what?
I don't know.
That's why some of the women end up
that
faking
is
it and killing people for their babies. Like, oh no, I ain't going back to jail.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, why did she need this baby that bad? Was it to keep the man? No, she's gonna go back to jail.
Mhm.
Oh, probably a
Ooh,
lot
can you
more
imagine
dead
that?
pregnant
They
women.
probably try to kidnap a baby.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
It
those
probably
would
be more
skyrocket.
baby kidnappings and more pregnant women getting murdered because it's like, oh snap,
Mhm.
that inmate's got to go back. They didn't have that baby.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ain't going back. Forget that. How many months are you? Oh shoot, me too. Me
Yeah.
too. Forget that. Like you forgetting, I'm a habitual criminal too. I ain't scared to go to jail, but I ain't going
Yeah.
back.
Okay, Sean. Did I skip Sean?
No, he went first,
Oh, okay. Sure.
didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah, we just went back to that his theory. I said mine because I'm like, that is some silliness.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was this week's episode of Love During Lockup. Make sure you hit that like button and the subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. And you can come back and join us in our silliness with giving our recap of the show. And as always, I want to thank you for coming, friends. Bye. Until next time.